A man was going through old family photos and videos taken nearly 40 years ago. The footage showed him spending time with his father and siblings during a family outing. Nothing unusual at first. But while watching the footage again decades later, he noticed something he had never seen before. In the background, a figure could be seen standing. When he asked his family about it, they all confirmed the same thing. No one else was there that day. There were no strangers nearby, no friends, no passers-by. Yet the figure was clearly visible in the footage. Confused and unsettled, the man shared the images online, hoping someone could explain what he had found. But shortly after posting them, his account was deleted. No explanation was given, no follow-up was ever posted. And the man who shared the footage was never heard from again. In 1974, hiker Joel Eugene Paulson, a 26-year-old from South Carolina, was traveling the Appalachian Trail with Margaret McFadden, who was 17 at the time. That evening, they stopped at Low Gap Shelter, where they encountered another hiker who introduced himself as Ralph Howard Fox. The following morning, the situation took a tragic turn. Fox attacked Paulson, leaving him fatally injured, and took his hiking equipment and travel checks. Fox then forced Margaret to accompany him as he fled the area. Fortunately, after several days, Margaret was able to escape and alert authorities. Ralph Howard Fox was later arrested, pleaded guilty, and received a life sentence for his actions. The case sent shockwaves through the hiking community. About 6 months ago, this woman shared a truly disturbing and terrifying experience that happened during an evening walk in the forest. For months, she had noticed the same man sitting on the same bench, almost every day. He never spoke, he never interacted, he just sat there, staring. At the time, it felt unsettling, nothing more. That evening, however, the forest was quieter than usual, with very few people around. As she walked past the bench, the man stood up a few seconds later and began following her. Feeling uneasy, she turned around and walked back the way she came. The man stopped, then turned as well, and followed her again. Realizing something wasn't right, she sat down on the bench she'd been using earlier and kept pepper spray hidden in her hand, ready in case she needed it. The man walked past her and sat on another bench a short distance away. That's when she knew something was seriously wrong. She opened her phone camera and noticed the man engaging in explicit behavior. When he realized he was being recorded, he quickly tried to hide, returned to the bench, adjusted his clothing, and then walked away. Shaken, she ran and contacted the forest guards. Despite 3 guards searching the area, the man was never found. She also reported the incident to the police, who advised her to contact them again if she ever saw him return. She later shared her experience as a warning to others. A trail camera set up in Hamlin County, Tennessee, captured unusual footage from a backyard garden. An elderly woman installed the camera after tomatoes and other vegetables kept disappearing overnight. When she reviewed the footage, she saw something she couldn't explain. A thin, human-like figure can be seen moving through the garden in the darkness. The figure's shape and movement don't resemble any known animal. Some residents claimed sightings like this weren't uncommon in the area. Hamlin County lies within the Appalachian Valley, a region long associated with reports of strange and unexplained creatures. Around 4 a.m., a woman was driving alone through a remote, isolated area. The road was completely empty, no traffic, no lights, no nearby activity. As she passed a wooded stretch, her dashcam captured something unexpected. A humanoid figure was standing on the right side of the road. Unsettled by what she saw, the woman didn't slow down or stop. She kept driving, leaving the figure behind in the darkness. Who or what could have been standing out there in such a remote place at at such a late hour. This man was hiking deep inside a national forest when he came across something he never expected to find. Hidden far from any marked trail was a small man-made cabin. The structure looked abandoned. Curious, he cautiously looked inside. What he found was disturbing. There was a hole in the floor, packed with sandbags and swarming with flies. Around the cabin were makeshift booby-traps, bottles arranged to clatter loudly if disturbed, as if meant to alert someone nearby. But the most unsettling discovery was outside. A nearby tree had what looked like souvenirs nailed into it. Photographs of people, belt buckles, bottle caps, keychains, rings, all deliberately attached to the trunk. No one was found at the site. After sharing the discovery online, many people urged the hiker to leave immediately. Whatever the purpose of the cabin was, it didn't feel like something meant to be found. A Reddit user shared a still image captured by their Ring doorbell camera. Their home was located along the Appalachian Trail in North Carolina, an area surrounded by dense forest. In the image, a small upright figure can be seen close to the home. The user described it as looking like a little person. As the image spread, viewers offered different explanations. Some suggested it could be an animal caught mid-movement, possibly a cat, bird, or other wildlife distorted by motion blur. But without motion footage, there was no way to determine how the figure moved, how tall it actually was, or even what direction it came from. During a hike along a remote Appalachian trail, this person came across a disturbing sight. Attached to a tree at eye level, directly facing the path, was a structure made from animal bones. At first glance, it felt threatening, almost like a warning left behind. But discoveries like this don't always point to something dangerous. In some cases, similar displays are linked to morbid or macabre art, a form of expression that uses imagery associated with death, decay, and nature to provoke reflection or emotion. Artists, hikers, or locals have been known to create bone assemblages using found animal remains, arranging them as personal symbols, folk art, or ritual-like displays without any malicious intent. Whether this was a piece of morbid art or a personal ritual remains unclear. But encountering something like this, alone on a remote trail, is enough to make anyone uneasy, especially when you don't know why it was placed there or who might return to it. One night, a Reddit user's trail camera was suddenly triggered. When he checked the footage, he noticed something strange. Near a tree, a shape could be seen standing out against the background. Unsure of what he was looking at, he shared the image online, hoping for answers. The post quickly gained attention and sparked mixed reactions. Some users believed the shape was nothing more than a tree, stump, or natural growth. Others suggested pareidolia, a psychological effect where the brain interprets random shapes as faces or figures. A few commenters even recommended returning during the daytime to take a comparison photo. But one question continued to bother the uploader. If it was just a tree, what caused the trail camera to trigger in the first place? In 2001, Louise Chaput, a 52-year-old woman from Quebec, traveled to Pinkham's Grant, New Hampshire, for a weekend getaway. She checked into a lodge at the Appalachian Mountain Club Visitor Center, planning a quiet stay surrounded by the mountains. During her visit, Louise set out alone on a short hike along the Lost Pond Trail, a trailhead located just across the road from the lodge, but she never returned. By the following Monday, after hearing nothing from her, Louise's family contacted local authorities and reported her missing. A search was launched throughout the surrounding area. Tragically, on Thanksgiving Day, Louise was found along the trail. Investigators determined she had suffered serious injuries caused by an assault. To this day, no suspect has been identified, and the case remains unsolved. A photo taken back in 2020 was recently rediscovered. but the person who took it doesn't remember why the photo was captured in the first place. When he showed the image to his girlfriend, she immediately felt unsettled. In the photo, a strange face appears just above a chair, watching. What made it even more disturbing was the location. It was her childhood home. The person who shared the image says he doesn't believe in paranormal activity, but the photo unsettled him enough to ask others for their opinions online. One possible explanation suggested was burnt wood or damaged material reflecting sunlight in an unusual way. Let's hope that's all it was. While spending the day in the Lone Peak Mountains, this man noticed something unusual on a distant slope. A large figure was moving steadily uphill. At first glance, it looked human, but its size stood out immediately. The figure appeared taller and broader than an average human hiker. The Lone Peak area has long been associated with reports of large, unidentified creatures, and sightings like this have fueled local speculation for years. Unfortunately, the man was too far away to get closer. In 2008, fishermen Scott Johnston and Sean Farmer were camping near Wapiti Shelter, a remote area along the Appalachian Trail. While there, they encountered a man who introduced himself as Ricky Williams, later identified as Randall Smith. The three men shared dinner together, and Smith stayed with them for several hours, even though he claimed his own campsite was more than an hour away. Around 8:30 p.m., Smith said he was leaving. Not long after, the situation suddenly turned dangerous. Johnston and Farmer were seriously injured during the incident, but managed to escape together and survived. Smith fled the area. Later investigation confirmed that Randall Smith was also responsible for the 1981 deaths of Robert Mountford Jr. and Susan Ramsey, which occurred in the same general region. Despite the attack in 2008, no clear motive was ever established. Smith was later taken into custody and eventually died while incarcerated, bringing no further answers as to why the attack happened. A trail camera set up by a co-worker captured an unbelievable image. It appears to show a deer standing extremely close to the camera. It's one of those weird, unexpected moments, the kind of photo that probably only happens once in a lifetime. In April 2023, the Macon County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina received a tip involving suspicious activity near the Appalachian Trail. According to investigators, two individuals were believed to be approaching through hikers in the Rock Gap area and offering illegal substances. Deputies were given a description of a vehicle connected to the reports. Not long after, officers located and stopped a van matching that description. A K-9 unit was brought in to assist with the search. Inside the vehicle, deputies discovered a significant quantity of illegal substances. The two occupants of the van, Bobby Ann Drellick and Eoin Edward Craia, were taken into custody and charged. Authorities later confirmed that Craia was also wanted in Virginia on unrelated charges. While hiking through the forest, this person noticed something unusual ahead. A red glowing light appeared rising above a dense cluster of trees. The object seemed to lift slowly from within the forest canopy, its light steady and clearly visible for several seconds. Some viewers suggested it could have been a distress flare, but flares typically rise much higher and burn far brighter before fading. Others believe it may have been a drone or another man-made light source, though no sound was reported and no clear shape could be seen. No explanation was ever confirmed. A Reddit user recently shared an experience after witnessing the brown mountain lights from Wise Man's View in North Carolina. Below the viewpoint was a steep cliff, and beyond it miles of dense wilderness stretched into the darkness. According to the user, more than 15 bright lights appeared across the mountainside. The user mentioned that the lights appeared in areas where no roads are known to exist. The brown mountain lights have been reported for more than a century, with the earliest published accounts dating back to around 1910. Over the years, countless witnesses have described similar glowing or moving lights in the same region. Some believe the lights could be caused by natural phenomena, such as geological or mineral-related activity. But despite decades of reports, no single explanation has been universally accepted. So what do you think caused the lights that night? A Reddit user shared a story from a hiking trip in the Shenandoah Mountains, near the Appalachian Trail, where simple exploration took an unexpected turn. While exploring the area around their campsite, they noticed something in the distance. They called out, asking if anyone was there. No one responded. Curious but cautious, they decided to move closer. It was a man-made shelter hidden in the woods. In the comments, many people said they would have left immediately, not wanting to stay overnight without knowing who might be living nearby, or if anyone would return. Fortunately, nothing else happened. The person who built the shelter never appeared, and the hikers made it through their trip without incident. Still, stumbling across something like that deep in the mountains is enough to make anyone uneasy, especially when you don't know who it belongs to. The story goes that one day, a man named Mr. Lewis went out hunting and never returned. He was expected home that evening, but he never showed up. His wife, known locally as Miss Lewis, searched for him and asked neighbors if anyone had seen him. According to the story, no one had. Local men organized searches and combed the surrounding woods for days, yet they found nothing. No tracks, no bones, no belongings. As time passed, Miss Lewis is said to have grown weak and withdrawn. The legend claims she spent years sitting on her front porch in a rocking chair, watching the hollow and waiting for her husband to come home. After her death, the story takes an even darker turn. People began reporting footsteps, cries for help, and the sound of a rocking chair near the abandoned shack where she once lived. But unlike documented disappearances or verified missing person cases, there is no official record, police report, or reliable news account confirming any of these events. Whether this story reflects something that truly happened, or is simply folklore, remains unknown. One night while watching the stars, this man captured something strange in the sky. Several unusual lights could be seen moving across the darkness. They didn't behave like stars or aircraft. Their movement appeared deliberate and out of place. As the clip spread online, viewers began speculating. Some suggested the lights could be UAPs or even UFOs. No official explanation was ever given, leaving the origin of the lights open to interpretation. This photo was captured at 7:02 p.m. by a motion-activated game camera on a remote ranch. The image appears to show a human-like figure with what looked like heels visible on its feet. According to the uploader, the camera was placed near the site of an old homestead on the property. The land is private with limited access, and the owner says no one matching the figure has ever been seen on or near the ranch. There were no tracks found, no explanation. So did the game camera capture an unexpected intruder, or was something else moving through the property that evening? This person spends a lot of time bushwhacking through remote terrain, far from roads, towns, or marked trails. This time, while hiking deep in the foothills of the southern Appalachian Mountains, she came across this. A grave marker, standing alone, surrounded by forest miles away from any visible sign of civilization. It made her stop and wonder. Who was buried here, and why were they laid to rest so far off the beaten path? Hiker Ann Hockton knew the Great Smoky Mountains well. For years, she had hiked its trails, volunteered her time, and helped care for the park she loved. On January 28, 2025, the 73-year-old set out on another hike, this time near the Enlow Creek Trail in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, a place she had visited countless times before. She planned to hike for one day and return by January 29th. When she didn't come back as expected, concern quickly grew. Her vehicle was later found parked at Smoke Mount Campground, and she was officially reported missing on February 1st. Search teams from multiple local agencies, along with park law enforcement, began an extensive search of the surrounding area. On February 2nd, 2025, at approximately 1:53 p.m., Ann Hockton was found deceased, about a quarter mile off the Enlow Creek Trail. Hockton was a resident of Jackson County, North Carolina, and had volunteered in the park for more than 20 years. In 2022, she was nominated for a National Park Service Award recognizing outstanding volunteer service. Officials reported no signs of foul play, and her death remains a tragic reminder of how unforgiving wilderness terrain can be, even for those who know it best. Ann Hockton is remembered not only as an experienced hiker, but as someone who devoted decades of her life to protecting and caring for the Smoky Mountains. During a group hike on Hawksbill Mountain in Pisgah National Forest, one of the hikers noticed something unusual tucked beneath a dead leaf. At first, it looked like nothing more than litter. But when they picked it up, they realized it was a note. Curious, they later shared their discovery on Reddit, asking if anyone recognized it. Other users quickly identified it as a Schuylkill note. Schuylkill notes are small pieces of paper printed with symbolism-heavy messages and conspiracy-based theories. They've been reported for years along hiking trails, especially in Pennsylvania and throughout parts of the Appalachian Trail. No one knows who is placing them. But finding something like this, hidden quietly along a remote trail, leaves hikers wondering, who's behind these notes, and why do they keep appearing in the woods?
Now, if you're enjoying my videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. Your support helps me creating new stories every week, and it means the world to me. Thank you so much for watching.
A man exploring deep within a forest came across something unusual.
I see this thing. This thing is... What is this? What is this?
A rectangular structure built entirely from tree branches. The branches were tightly arranged and interlocked, forming a surprisingly stable shape. Nearby, a pile of rocks had been grouped together, not scattered, but deliberately placed. Nothing about the scene felt random. After recording the location, the man decided to leave the area. Was this structure built by human hands, or could something else have been responsible? On March 1st, 2022, two brothers from the YouTube channel Squatch TV entered the Appalachian woods late at night. Not long after stepping into the forest, they began hearing terrifying sounds echoing through the trees. Instead of leaving, they made a risky decision. They chose to move toward the sounds, hoping to identify who or what was making them. As they pushed deeper into the woods, the situation escalated.
It's hard to tell with the wind, but it almost sounded like something definitely made some kind of noises over there. So we're gonna check it out. Occasionally snowmobilers come through here, but other than that, it's pretty remote. This is an abandoned train bridge. Okay.
In the distance, they noticed trees and branches moving, as if something large was traveling through the forest alongside them. Still, they continued forward. Then, suddenly, they heard this.
Yeah, my brother said he heard some weird things, but that's pretty weird. I've never heard a grizzly bear sound like that before. You got like chills going down your spine?
Yup.
I hope the camera got that. Oh, we can take that one path up here.
Yeah.
Is that right there?
Yeah. Take to the babies. Oh, baby.
Okay, I don't even want to go. I don't even want to. What the hell was that? Dude, fuck this. Should we?
You got,
Do it for the video?
you got your knife?
What the fuck is that?
The sound was close enough to make them stop. Despite recognizing the danger, they pressed on, unaware that the most terrifying moment of the night was still ahead.
Okay, so we've been hearing some really fucking spooky shit, dude. I'm only giving it like maybe 5 more minutes. So we're walking.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of the woods about half an hour from my house. I only got a knife, but that's not gonna stop the fucking grizzly bear or whatever this is. Yeah. It's coming from up there. I don't even know if I want to. We'll see what it is, but at the same time it's like, I mean, this is like something fucking unknown.
Alright. Let's be safe how long we're out here, because I think there's a storm coming. It's getting real windy.
Alright. Okay.
Go. That's pretty loud. That's close.
Eventually, fear took over. Realizing they had gone too far, the brothers decided they needed to head back immediately. That's when this happened.
Oh, go. It's coming. Oh, crap. Wait, don't, wait. Go. Wait. Holy, I think I saw it. Go. Go.
Fortunately, they managed to reach their car just in time and leave the area safely. Whatever had been moving through the Appalachian woods that night was never seen, and to this day, it remains a mystery. And now, for more Appalachian encounters, watch this next one.